Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel, where we learn/remember constitutional law together as crazy things happen around us. Body camera video showing a Larimer County, Colorado sheriff's deputy tasing a man on Interstate 25 seconds before he was hit by a passing SUV was released Wednesday by attorneys for the man's family and by the sheriff's office.
Rolling down the window for me?
Yeah, sorry, it's just a cat, and then I was vaping my nicotine.
Gotcha. Can you step out for me?
Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, please stay. Can I roll up the window? Thank you.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Yeah.
Come back here. So, did you give me the right name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jacob Todd Jones.
Okay. Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know. So, right now you're under arrest. Can I say something? Stop me or you tased!
Who's at fault here? Was this a constitutional violation? Is it the officer's fault? Was it the car's fault? The guy who ran's fault? Did the officer commit a crime? Let's go through it. On February 18th of this year, Larimer County Sheriff's Deputy Lorenzo Lujan was working an overtime patrol shift in the area of Interstate 25. Deputy Lujan was near this hotel when he observed the vehicle with its backup lights on and reversing out of a parking space on the south side of the hotel. Deputy Lujan gave the vehicle space to back out of the parking lot, but the vehicle remained idling in that location, and Deputy Lujan reported he found that behavior suspicious. The vehicle was identified, and Deputy Lujan completed a records check of the plate and learned that the registration was expired as of February of 2022. Believing the vehicle to be suspicious and deserving of further investigation, Lujan parked his vehicle and walked on foot towards the guy's car, which was a Fusion. Deputy Lujan observed the vehicle still parked behind the hotel and idling, but in a different spot. Deputy Lujan returned to his patrol vehicle in hopes of repositioning to get a view of what may be occurring in the Fusion when he observed the Fusion leave the parking lot. Deputy Lujan followed the Fusion onto the southeast frontage road. At that time, he observed the registration stickers on the license plate did not match the DMV records. Deputy Lujan asked dispatch to reconfirm the registration status was expired before he conducted a traffic stop, and dispatch responded, "I confirm it is." When the light turned green, both vehicles turned left onto the street, and the Ford Fusion made a last-second maneuver, crossing the solid white lines onto the I-25 on-ramp. Deputy Lujan followed the Ford Fusion onto I-25 and alerted Larimer County Sheriff's Office dispatch that he would be attempting a traffic stop and requested a cover officer. As they drove north on the interstate, Deputy Lujan noted the vehicle was going much slower than the posted 75 miles per hour speed limit. Deputy Lujan then activated his overhead lights and initiated the traffic stop as they approached the next exit. He hoped the driver would take the off-ramp as it would provide a safer location for the traffic stop than on the interstate. The driver took the exit and stopped his vehicle near the top of the off-ramp. Deputy Lujan approached the driver's side of the vehicle and attempted to identify the driver.
I'm Deputy Lujan with Larimer County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Reason why I'm stopping you is your registration's expired.
The driver identified himself as, quote, Jacob Jones, and reported a date of birth of November 30th, 1994. The driver provided registration and insurance for the vehicle, both of which were expired. Deputy Lujan noted the insurance information matched the name of the registered owner, who the driver identified as his girlfriend.
Registration? It's my girlfriend's car, actually.
Okay.
I was just actually helping her move.
Gotcha. Do you have your license?
I don't. I just literally got everything like clumped up here. So, sorry, everything's just mumble jumble, you know.
Okay. You don't have your wallet or?
I actually do not. And then I got the little kitten in here too.
Can you take the keys out of the ignition for me? I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, out of the ignition?
What's your girlfriend's name?
Victoria Dominguez.
What's your last name?
Jones.
Jones?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Jacob.
Date of birth?
November 30th, 94.
Where are you heading to?
I was literally getting ready to turn back around because I forgot, a bag and stuff like that.
Where
so
are you heading now?
I was heading to Loveland.
You're heading to Loveland?
Yeah, but I figured it'd be quicker to turn around like right here and then like go back to grab the bag that I missed.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Do you know which way you're going?
Yeah, I'm going north south. So like this way I'm going actually north, but I need to go back to the hotel, to go to Loveland, which is off 34, which is south.
So why'd you go north on
Because
the interstate?
because I was going to turn around like I just said to get the bag, you know what I mean? That was like for the abrupt turn to the right because I forgot the backpack. You know what I'm saying?
As Deputy Lujan was talking to the driver, he noticed his eyes were constricted, so he asked him about drug or alcohol use that night. The driver denied using either.
So part of my job is to check for safe and sober drivers. Are you a safe and sober driver?
I am
How much
safe and
alcohol
sober. I
do you
actually do not drink.
How much marijuana have you smoked?
I don't smoke marijuana.
Any illicit drugs?
No illicit drugs.
Okay. Stay in the car. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Yeah.
Deputy Lujan returned to his vehicle and utilized the police database to run the names that he was provided, and he found that, quote, Jacob Jones was with the birth date provided and could see the photograph of Jones did not match the driver of this car. Deputy Lujan used law enforcement databases to look at associates of Jacob Jones, and one of the first individuals he saw was, quote, Brent Thompson. Deputy Lujan was able to view a picture of Thompson and positively identified him as the driver of this Ford Fusion. Dispatch informed Lujan that Thompson's driver's license was revoked as a habitual traffic offender, a person with 3 or more convictions that would suspend a license. Apparently, investigators later found that there were at least 2 prior instances in which this guy, Thompson, used the same false identification information of, quote, Jacob Jones. Based on the totality of his observations, indicating what was believed to be suspicious behavior at the hotel, suspected impairment, and the reporting of a false identity, Deputy Lujan requested a canine officer to respond to the scene. Deputy Lujan then reapproached Thompson's vehicle with Corporal Bordewick to contact Thompson. When the deputies reached the vehicle, Deputy Lujan asked Thompson to step out of the vehicle, and Thompson complied. Deputy Lujan allowed Thompson to roll up his window and close the door as there was a cat in the vehicle.
Rolling down the window for me?
Yeah, sorry, it's just a cat, and then I was vaping my nicotine.
Gotcha. Can you step out for me?
Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, please stay. Can I roll up the window?
That's fine, yeah.
Thank you.
Don't keep your hands where I can see them.
Yeah.
Come back here. I'm going to pat you down just to make sure you don't have any weapons on you, okay? You can relax. Go ahead and put that stuff on the
Deputy Lujan confronted Thompson with the fact that he provided a fake name. Thompson insisted that he had not lied and confirmed the false name.
So, did you give me the right name?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Jacob Todd Jones.
Okay. Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know.
Deputy Lujan advised Thompson that he was under arrest, at which point Thompson ran west down a steep embankment towards I-25. Deputy Lujan ran after Thompson and aired over his radio that he was in a foot pursuit.
So, right now you're under arrest.
He unholstered his taser and gave a use of force command.
Stop me or you tase! Stop!
Deputy Lujan reported that he looked to the south and he did not see any cars or headlights for a great distance, but could not see southbound traffic because of the overpass structure. At I-25, Thompson attempted to jump over the guardrail on the shoulder of northbound I-25, but caught his foot on the guardrail and stumbled onto the shoulder of I-25 on the interstate. Deputy Lujan was able to close the distance in that time, and he subsequently deployed his taser. The taser was effective in creating incapacitation. Deputy Lujan reported that Thompson was under taser power for one cycle of 5 seconds. As Deputy Lujan walked through the lane of travel, he reported seeing a car traveling northbound and described it as being closer than expected. Corporal Bordewick said that he saw Deputy Lujan deploy his taser and that Thompson fell in the northbound lane of travel on the interstate. Seconds later, Corporal Bordewick observed headlights coming northbound towards them, so he went into the road and attempted to use his flashlight to stop the approaching vehicle, but was unsuccessful. The oncoming vehicle hit Thompson in the roadway. The impact caused Thompson's body to be pulled further into the roadway. After realizing he hit something, the driver of the SUV pulled over on the side of the road and backed up to return to the site. Deputy Lujan then moved Thompson onto the shoulder and began rendering medical aid by performing chest compressions. EMS was requested to arrive at the scene. However, Thompson was pronounced deceased while at the medical center of the Rockies. The next morning, on February 19, 2023, while the scene was still secure, Larimer County Sheriff's Corporal Hawks was able to run his canine around the perimeter of the Ford Fusion, and he indicated that his canine alerted to the presence of narcotics inside the vehicle. Based on that information, the vehicle was towed to a police lot while a search warrant was sought. A judge signed a search warrant for the vehicle, and several items of evidence were collected, including drug paraphernalia, a fake can storage container, burnt tinfoil and glass pipe, narcotics, 7 cell phones, and a Sig Sauer 1911 handgun. So those were the facts as determined by the district attorney there, who issued this long letter, a copy of which I'll post at the blog, detailing the investigation results and his ultimate decision not to press any criminal charges against the officer here. But there's some interesting information in that report, particularly the main issue that I'm interested in here, and that's obviously use of the taser on an interstate with an SUV rapidly approaching the guy you're about to incapacitate. Let's look at the policy for this actual agency that this deputy was trained on. So this is their policy. The taser may be used when the circumstances perceived by the deputy at the time indicate that such application is reasonably necessary to control a person if, number 1, the person is violent or physically resisting. Number 2, the person has demonstrated by words or action an intention to be violent or to physically resist, and reasonably appears to present the potential to harm deputies themselves or others. Note, the use of the taser is not authorized to apprehend an individual without known circumstances or factors whose only action is flight from a deputy attempting to make contact. So here, as I believe many police departments have, as a policy, you're not supposed to use a taser just to apprehend somebody who's fleeing. And I believe that for the most part, that complies with federal Fourth Amendment law. So this would be an excessive force analysis, which somebody who is in the process of an attempted arrest is going to fall under the Graham factors. Graham versus Connor. One is the severity of the crime that the suspect is accused of committing. Now here, that is basically some traffic violations, just random general suspiciousness, and giving a fake name to the officer, possible some drug use. So not a suspected serial killer, not a known violent felon, not somebody who's been known to try to kill police officers or anything like that. So very, very minor on the Graham factor scale of severity of crime. Secondly, whether they're physically resisting or evading arrest. Now, certainly this guy is evading arrest. He's in the process of running. And third, the most important Graham factor, whether or not the suspect poses an immediate safety threat to the police officer or anyone else present at the scene. And that's what's missing here is there's no physical safety threat reason to tase this guy. He's running away. He's not known to be armed. He's not known to be dangerous. He's not known to be violent. He's not in the process of trying to hurt somebody. Basically, what is happening here is this officer is using the taser to apprehend somebody, which is exactly what he's not supposed to do under the policy. And the policy reads that way because generally the federal case law does not allow somebody just to be apprehended with a taser unless there's some sort of violent fleeing felon, i.e. Tennessee versus Garner. Even where you're authorized to use a taser, there are certain situations where you wouldn't want to do so. Remember the guy who was doused in gasoline. So their policy here at this agency actually has several of those. So you're not supposed to tase somebody. Individuals who are known to be pregnant, elderly individuals or obvious younger juveniles, individuals with low body mass, individuals who are handcuffed or otherwise restrained, individuals who have been recently sprayed with a flammable chemical agent. So this is like they're incorporating all these other incidents into their policy, which is smart to do. And also individuals whose position or activity may result in collateral injury, e.g. falls from height / operating vehicles. And that's exactly what we have here. Here you have somebody tased on I-25. There are vehicles operating on I-25, so that's a bad idea. It doesn't fall within policy. And in my opinion, it also doesn't fall within federal Fourth Amendment law because the guy is just running away. He's not known to be dangerous. He's not in the process of trying to hurt somebody. It's just somebody being apprehended for basically nonviolent misdemeanors. As per the district attorney, there's no criminal charges going to be filed against this police officer, but certainly there is definitely a civil case, and obviously that's in the process because I think it was the lawyers for this guy, Brent Thompson, who released the footage. And I'll put the link to the raw footage in the first comment here and also link it at the blog post, but it's really, really awful footage, really can't be unseen, and it's really a sad case. So as always, if you like going over these sorts of cases and making sure that you understand constitutional law, stay on top of it, which we all need to do, please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.